Thank you.
It's a great pleasure to call James Wilde to make his maiden speech.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. And it's a huge privilege, as someone born and bred in Norfolk, to stand here, having been elected to represent the people of North West Norfolk. And I thank them for putting their trust in me, which I will do my very best to repay. I have many auspicious predecessors, including Sir Robert Walpole, our first Prime Minister. However, I want to pay particular tribute to my immediate predecessor, Sir Henry Bellingham. Henry was a great constituency MP who represented the area for over 30 years. He's rightly recognised locally as an assiduous champion for his constituents, regardless of how they voted. Indeed, such is his commitment that I was delighted to speak alongside him at a planning inquiry on Tuesday this week. And I'm sure the House will agree that as a Member of Parliament and a Minister, he more than met the aim that he expressed in his maiden speech to remove some of the blemish of a family member who assassinated a British Prime Minister. And echoing my honourable friend, the member for Watford, I know that I do have big shoes to fill. Now, King's Lynn is at the centre of my constituency, and its rich heritage dates from the 13th century when it was one of the country's main ports, and today it continues to make a significant contribution to our local economy. And this month saw the 575th anniversary of the first play performed at St George's Guildhall, the oldest working theatre in the UK, and the only one that can claim that Shakespeare performed there. A guild that was founded, incidentally, by another of my predecessors, John Brandon, known as Britain's greatest pirate. And channeling his spirit, I want to secure some of the treasure of the Towns Fund, the Future High Streets Fund and the other investment coming from this government for North West Norfolk. Beyond King's Lynn, my constituency is blessed with beautiful coastline, from Hunstanton to Holme, Brancaster to the Burnhams. To the west, the villages in the marshland from Clench Walton to Walpole St Peter. And it's an area with a diverse economy, with much to offer, but it needs the infrastructure investment to help it thrive and take full advantage of the opportunities of Brexit. We also have a wealth of excellent pubs in the constituency. The Dabbling Duck in Great Massingham, the Rose and Crown in Snettisham, and the Black Horse Inn in Castle Rising. And as you can tell, Madam Deputy Speaker, I've been working hard to find the best, and I hope that the budget will have good news for beer drinkers in all of them. Now, the Love West Norfolk campaign is doing a great job to promote all the good things about the constituency. But there are challenges: rural bus services, broadband, flood risk, educational outcomes, which I will want to tackle in my time in this House. But healthcare is at the top of my constituents' list of concerns, so I strongly support putting into legislation this record investment into the NHS. Similarly, our manifesto pledge to have 15 million more GP appointments has been widely welcomed, as has the excellent Pharmacy First initiative. And during the election, I saw where that investment was going when I visited the site of the new surgery coming to Burnham Market, which will serve surrounding villages, and also, importantly, in my constituency, will have a dementia suite. And tomorrow I'll be meeting other constituents concerned, as am I, about plans to close the GP surgery in Fairsted. Now, more than one constituent looking to find an NHS dentist has commented to me about the absurdity of the advice on the NHS website, recommending they go to Skegness as the nearest practice. Now, flying across the Wash may be practical for the migrating pink-footed geese that are a great sight in the big skies of Norfolk, but it's not very practical advice for my constituents. So dental provision will be an issue that I'll be working on in this Parliament. And as well as the need to improve mental health services and social care, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, the QEH in King's Lynn, is extremely important to my constituents. While it's in special measures, there's new leadership there, and on Friday I went to see for myself the improvements that are taking place. So the opportunity to speak in this debate is very timely. And my visit came after an intense period in A&E, with a tenfold increase in a number of flu cases. But Pam, the matron of A&E, was a great ambassador for the hospital, committed to delivering for patients, and despite all the challenges, she was still smiling. And I met a dedicated maternity team, improving the service for new parents and support those who sadly suffer bereavements. And I was glad to speak to the porters, the cleaners, the infection teams, the security guards, the people who don't get the recognition they deserve, but they're the ones who can tell you what's really going on in the hospital. And what came across to me was the passion of the staff, people proud of the improvements they've delivered for their patients, but who want to continue that journey and take the hospital out of special measures. And as their MP, I pledge my support for them. And 2020 marks the 40th anniversary of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. However, it was built with a life expectancy of 30 years, and its age is showing. The design does not lend itself to current clinical practices, care pathways or patient flows. The A&E is too cramped to meet demand, and the roof has major structural issues. So, in this decade of renewal, with the infrastructure plan, with the biggest cash investment into the NHS, I spy an opportunity, not just to fix the roof, but to do more. And I've spoken to my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State, during the election campaign and since about the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. I know he'll consider carefully proposals from the Trust for capital investment, proposals that also harness digital technology, where QEH currently languishes near the bottom of the digital league, when they aspire to be like Kings Lynn FC, who are riding high at the top of the Vanarama National League North. The QEH is up for change, it's up for innovation. My right honourable friend has previously accepted an invitation to come to the hospital, and I'd be delighted if he'll join me in the near future to come and see how we can make real improvements that the people of North West Norfolk deserve. Yeah.